Welcome to Embracing Infinity, exploring the infinite oneness in the space of love and truth. Host Jennifer Rose is an international spiritual medium, healer, channeler, mentor, and transformational guide. Her focus is encouraging individuals to know themselves within the lens of their divine heart and highest potential, to evolve within the frequency of love and peaceful harmony. Now, here's your host, Jennifer Rose.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Embracing Infinity. Let me see if I can get my background back on here again. Okay, there we go. It made me big. I don't know why it keeps doing that. So, okay, welcome, everybody. We're off to a great start. Happy Monday, happy Memorial Day, everybody, and welcome. This is a special event that's very near and dear to my heart, as I will be soon welcoming my dear friend and Vietnam Veteran Ronnie Shahbazian here to join me. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, celebrating, well, I shouldn't say celebrating, remembering and honoring those who have served on both Memorial Day and Veterans Day as well, too. So I'm looking forward to keeping the tradition alive as we continue to make sure that everybody knows that they are remembered, cared for, and honored for the ultimate sacrifices that they make for our country. And this also includes paying respect to their families as well, too. So thank you all for joining me here today on this Monday and on this very special holiday as well, too. I see everybody is starting to join us as well here. Welcome, everybody. I want to say hello to Rose Sullivan. Thank you for joining us, love. Great to see you over from the UK. And, you know, this is a U.S. holiday, but we want to make sure we also give honor and respect to soldiers from other countries as well, too, because we do understand that they too have been protecting the lives of the people that they serve as well, too. So thank you for your service. Kim Princess, hello, darling. How are you? Beautiful. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you here, too. Thanks for supporting. And there's our beautiful Evelyn Chesum over from Solvang in Central California. Great to see you, Evelyn. Thank you for joining us. Good friend of Ronnie's as well. So great to see you. Hello, Jennifer from the UK. A little earlier today, you didn't have to come on at 2 a.m. So great to see you. I hear you folks are having a big heat wave over there. I think California and the UK changed weather. I don't know what happened, but you guys are like in the 90 degrees, but that might be a little bit too hot for you, Jen. I'm not sure. But oh my goodness, is that hot? Fran over at Holistic Harmonies, great to see you, beautiful. Thank you for joining us, Fran. Love you, Fairy Queen. Great to see you. Thank you for being here too. Thank you all for putting live in the comments as well. That does tell Facebook and YouTube in the algorithms that we're doing something good, and it kind of keeps letting other people know that we're here so that they can also join us as well for this important discussion and share. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for hearting our video on Facebook. Thank you for following us on Facebook as well, sharing it out, tagging a friend who you think might enjoy sharing this space with us. And if you're over on YouTube, we really appreciate a thumbs up. And a subscribe to. We're over on the Sacred Spiral Network at Sacred Spiral Network, and on my page as well at Medium Jennifer Rose. So thank you so much for supporting those little click of a button actually does a lot, and it only takes a couple seconds. So greatly appreciated. Christine, thank you. Lovely to see you too. Thank you for joining us, Christine. So happy that you're here as well too. And Kelly's not here right now, but I'm going to tell her that you said hi, Jennifer. I'm actually doing this live on my own, and she's enjoying an afternoon off. But I do have an announcement that she will be on Brian Lahr's show on June 1st. Today, he's going to be having Colin Walker on, who I know we also love and adore over from the Menorca Consciousness Group. So they will be going live at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time today. Brian Lahr at the Be in the Light show with Colin Walker, which will be 12:30 a.m. in the UK. And then the following Monday, Kelly Brickle will be back as well on Be in the Light too. So super exciting, 2 great weeks of shows with Brian and the Be in the Light show as well too. So definitely something to look forward to as well too. Let me get caught up here as well, too. I want to say hi to Melissa. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. Us girls appreciate these things. So thank you so much, love. I greatly appreciate it. And thanks for the angel wings, Jennifer. Great to see you. There's my friend Jeffrey as well, too. Great to see you, Jeffrey. Thank you for joining us, my dear friend, as well, too. And Evelyn is giving her deepest heartfelt gratitude to Ronnie's dedication on a daily basis to help his fellow veterans. And we're going to be talking about that. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to get caught up. Thank you all for saying hi to each other over in the comments as well. Greatly appreciated. Look at all the love being shared. We're tagging each other. We're saying hi to each other. It's so great to see you. And thank you, everybody, for all of your love and support. Yes, much love to Franny from Evelyn over on YouTube. It is so hot. Mars and Taurus is not. Oh my gosh. I don't know how, I'm assuming that the popsicles, which you might call lollies or something, are sold out over in the grocery store. I have a feeling like, oh my goodness. And I don't do Celsius, I do Fahrenheit, but I think it's like in the 90s. So that 33 is like in the 90s here Fahrenheit. And that's like really hot. That's too hot for us too. Like, I'm an 80s girl. Like I love the music from the 80s and I love that temperature is about as hot as I want to get to. So, oh my goodness. Yes, I think she. Oh, no worries at all. All good. Hi to Ashley Page, who's joining us as well too, and thank you for the hashtag live. Which reminds me, Ashley and my other beautiful friend Nancy Muratalla will be going live tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 2:30 a.m. in the UK for a live reading show as well too. So you want to check that out. It's posted on both of their page. You don't want to miss that too. And everybody is saying hello to each other. Great to see you. Hello. Sorry, I'm clicking buttons with my glasses off right now. So, you know how that goes. Exactly. There we go. I'm a Durrani all the way. So, all right, my friends. Thank you so much for all of your support here too. Beautiful. Great to see all of you here too. So, okay. Without further ado, again, I am so honored and deeply grateful and humbled to be welcoming my dear friend here today on Memorial Day as we honor those who have served, sacrificed, lost their lives here today. Please let us all give a warm and loving welcome to Ronnie Shahbazian.
Good morning.
Good
Thank you
morning,
for being
Ronnie.
here. Jennifer, thank you for having me. It's becoming a tradition with you and I on Memorial Day, and then we get to liven it up on Veterans Day. So
Yes, we do.
I am very happy to be here and to be able to share what veterans and experience, as well as what those that have lost family members in war. That's what today is all about. This morning, I had the opportunity to deliver the invocation at the Goleta Valley Cemetery here in Santa Barbara area. And I do that. Hi, Ashley. It's so nice to see the comments.
Everyone's saying hi to you. You've got your friend
hello,
Laura.
everybody.
Laura from Santa Barbara as well too was saying hi to you. I just want to make sure you know all your friends are here supporting you. There's Lynn as well.
Yeah. Oh, Lynn, I love Lynn. So this morning I had that opportunity, and I like to begin my address by paying tribute to my uncle. This is Bartev Shahbazian. My middle name is Bart, and he passed away in the Philippines. He died there, never came home. He was 31 years old, never had a family, never got married, never saw his mother again. This is what we're doing today. The men and the women, and like Jennifer said, they were animals. We had military animals throughout history that served, and they should be honored today as well. During my presentation this morning, I had an opportunity to share a prayer that I read at the service this morning. So this is a Memorial Day prayer that I'd like to share with you. On this sacred day, we pause with grateful hearts to remember the brave men and women who laid down their lives for the cause of freedom. Their courage, sacrifice, and devotion have secured the liberties we hold dear. And we pray that their memory will never be forgotten. We lift up the families they left behind. We comfort them in their grief, surround them with your love, and give them the strength to carry on. We also pray for those who continue to serve in our armed forces today. Watch over them, guide their steps, and keep them safe from harm. Bless our nation and make us a people who seek peace, justice, and unity. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ronnie. Clip that.
And part of what we did this morning is we had an opportunity, and the place was packed. There's 100 seats there. It's a small cemetery, but it was so intimate and it was so moving, just like this, what we're doing today. This is an intimate part of our lives. We've taken time out of our day to come listen to me and Jennifer and talk about the people that gave the ultimate sacrifice for their lives, for our country, not knowing if they'd ever come home. And we've been doing this for way too long, way too many wars, over way too many not real reasons, especially lately. But I'll get off my soap opera about wars and made up wars. World War II was a real war. We're still fighting in Korea. Vietnam ended. We ran away. We didn't win that war, no matter what you hear. But we want to talk about the people that gave the ultimate sacrifice and what they meant to their families.
Yeah. Thank you, Ronnie.
That's important.
Yes, and that is the distinction between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Is Memorial Day is more specific to those who have lost their lives in War II, and this is also a very special and sacred time right now because of what's going on in the world, and that we are at war as well too right now too. So, thank you for mentioning that. Would it be all right if I read your bio to everybody for just
That'd be
a moment?
wonderful. Love to hear my bio.
Okay. Thank you. I know most of us know you, but just in case, and it never hurts to have a little refresher as well. Your buddy Craig here as well too. Hi, Craig. Good to see you too. Craig served in the Iraq War as well too. So we honor you and thank you, Craig. And I'm so happy that you're all here and we're joining us together. I'm having a difficult time, like just holding the emotions together right now because I can feel, everybody here, and I can feel spirit too. So I'm being my best hostess I can be to just speak, but it's such an emotional time. So, all right, everybody. My dear friend, Ronnie Shahbazian, has been a longtime veterans advocate. He's a lifetime member of Amvets Post 3, Santa Barbara. Ronnie serves the board of New Beginnings based in Santa Barbara, as well as the steering committee for the Santa Barbara County Behavioral Wellness Department. Born and raised in the Fresno area, Ronnie attended Rey Elementary School, Sanger High School, and Reedley College. In 1967, Ronnie was drafted into the U.S. Army and was trained as a Combat Medical Corpsman and served with the 145th Combat Aviation Battalion Headquarters Company in Bein Hoa, South Vietnam. After his military service, Ronnie attended Fresno College while working in the family businesses, which include farming and an automotive repair business. Ronnie moved to Santa Barbara in 1983, working in various businesses. In 2001, he began work with MTD as a commercial bus driver until 2017 when he retired. Ronnie is passionate about being an advocate for veterans issue, supporting his church, and taking great care of himself. So beautiful. That's just a smidge everywhere too. And we've had a lot more beautiful friends who've joined us. Heidi Gohl and Nancy Muratala is here too. So thank you, our dear friends, for being here. What was it like, Ronnie, before Vietnam and then getting drafted, and then when you first got there, there's like this whole new whole new place, whole new culture, whole new language, the transition.
And we need to remember the 58,000 plus who didn't come home. I'm fortunate that I came home, but my life before I got drafted was pretty great. You know, I was hanging out at home. My Italian mother was taking great care of me. My Armenian father was a taskmaster, and I had a hot blonde girlfriend whose parents didn't care for me very much. So I was living the best life possible. I didn't want to go fight somebody, especially I didn't know these people. So
Yeah.
with the support that you get from family and friends, it really helps when you go off to war. But once you get to war, everything changes. Everything changes. Everything starts moving so much faster. There's so much else going on. There's so many more people. I was on a base with maybe 50,000 people in various branches that were doing their best to deal with that situation. So coming home was another transition, because that was a war nobody wanted, nobody cared about, and we were collateral damage. So it took a lot of time to bring myself back to a good state of spiritual awareness that I had before, but then lost for a while, a couple decades.
I remember the movie with Tom Cruise about that too, and it's so good that they made it so that we got to understand the horrible mistake of taking out our displeasures onto the soldiers who were returning home, traumatized, wounded, loss of limbs, and I think we have gotten much better since then. But we have to keep remembering. We have to keep reminding each other so that we don't forget, because generations can go by and then we can start to forget, and we don't want that to happen.
We never want to forget what's happened. We want to be able to support our troops no matter what we feel about the war.
Yeah,
any war. But
absolutely.
you know, it's the families of those who never came back that are most important, especially from that war, because they weren't given the parades, they weren't given the accolades. So it made a big difference on how people adjusted. Some people adjusted very easily. Some people suffered. I suffered enormously. But, you know, I made it. I'm back.
Yes,
And I'm
you
very
did.
proud. It's my spiritual beliefs and the people that love and care about me that made that happen. The ones that lost their lives, the support their families needed, the Gold Star families. I remember when Uncle Bartev, I don't remember him because he was passed before I went, but you know, I hear stories about when they came with that knock on the door, you know, and they pulled up and said, he's not coming home. He's not coming home. Your son's not coming home. My grandmother took that gold star that she had been given by the military and put it in her window till it faded away. Till you couldn't even see it. It was like blank after years and years and years. It was gone by the time I was born.
Yeah, the dreaded knock on the door when you're waiting and you don't know. I just can't imagine. And that's why, while we are honoring all of those that are in spirit world that have served, we want to do also make sure that we hold in a container of grace all of the families and all of the trauma and grief that they've had to endure over the many years too. How did you keep your resilience? Like, how did you, because you had to become like a family, right? So your fellow military was like your brothers and sisters, right? And it's like, and then how did you cope with like watching them lose their life, like during, while you're in war and afterwards?
Jennifer, that's a great question. I really appreciate it. And it means a lot when you think about what you're doing a job. You're in a war zone, you're doing a job, no matter what your job may be, whether it's in the field with a weapon, searching out the enemy, or it's or it's in a field away and you're a little safer, but you were never safe. So you want to make sure that you care about the people you work with, you care about the people that you eat with, you care about the people that are sleeping in the same building, because you don't know what's going to happen in the middle of the night when the rockets hit. You know, they're not trying to kill us. They're trying to cause any kind of damage to our equipment. If we get caught in the way, it's oh well, you know, we got some soldiers as well. But, you know, it was a sense of camaraderie, a sense of friendship and meaningful relationships, you know, and being able to support each other and care about each other. I'm sure that's what my uncle felt when he was in battle and he was in a war zone. He had to have had the support and friendship of the people that he served with. It's just kind of the way it is. I don't think you think about it. I don't think you plan for it. It just happens because it has to happen. That support, that recognition, that pure love that you have for your fellow human being. And this could be somebody you really maybe not care for too much, but you still love him because he's there doing his job just like you are.
So you have to stick together. You're literally like your life depends on sticking together too. And the healing process of coming home, it's physical, it's emotional, it's mental. I know in the last few episodes that we've done together in the last couple of years, we've talked a lot about all of the different services that veterans can get. So you've been quite the advocate for letting those who've been in the military know what's available to them and to go get it and to stay perseverant with the process of getting it too, as well too.
That's true. I'm reading Craig's comment
Yeah,
here.
he says, not being able to react, too much counting on us to get the job done. I did not emotionally respond until months after I was home. Thank you for sharing, Craig.
And Craig had a different experience because his was a different experience. Each experience is different, and how we adjust is different. I think Craig adjusted by staying active in the military, staying active in post-military, and supporting his country the best way he could, and keeping himself safe and secure, and keeping his own mental health strong and resilient. My experience was a little different. We didn't go as a unit. We were like modules getting plugged in. So you met somebody and 3 months later they were home and you were there with somebody else. And then pretty soon you became the guy going home. So it created a different bit of camaraderie. Units went over in airplanes and they worked together and stayed together and fought together. In my situation, it was a little different. I think it made it a little not so resilient for me to be around people that I could have spent the whole time with. But I adjusted, I made it, I made new friends, old friends left. But one of the things I didn't do is stay in contact with many of those people because we were never there at the same time. But being able to be responsible for your post-military life is entirely up to you and how you deal with it. In my case, I was rejected by the VA in the beginning. They told me, well, you're just a partying Vietnam veteran and, you know, there's nothing wrong with you. Just don't party so much and get back in reality, get back into the game. Well, if your head's not in it, it's pretty hard to get back in the game. So they kicked me out of the VA hospital and said, just get back in the game. And it turned out I had Hep C from the shots we took while we were getting ready to go into the service. You know, they lined us up and they used machine guns to give us our shots for whatever it was. You know, you say, oh, what's this? You didn't even ask, you just took your shot. So the propellant they initially found out is what caused a lot of Hep C. So anyway, I got through that. But then when you go to get your benefits, you have to be prepared for the rejection, for the denials, for the claims that get turned back for one reason or another. But in my case, I know some guys say, well, they turned me down and that's it. In my case, I think it's from my father. He was a veteran. He served in World War II. and it made him understand my situation better, but he was dealing with his own situation. You know, he didn't get treatment. He didn't get a lot of things that veterans get now. Now, the VA's, if you work within the VA system, you can really benefit. I am getting maximum benefits financially. I'm getting all my treatments covered, anything I need. You know, it's a little cumbersome, but it works well, and I know how to navigate it. And I recommend if you have any family members that are dealing with it, have them, support them, be a part of them. There's benefits for the dependents, for the parents. California veterans get to send their kids to college, any UC college, any California state college. They get to go free, tuition free, no tuition. It's still going to be expensive, but that's a big thing. And California has supported that. I'm sure there are other states that do it as well, but I'm familiar with California. I know many people have done it. So there is that. There's spousal benefits. Women can get as a caretaker, as helping their husband. There's money on the table. There's benefits on the table. You become a part of it. I won't talk about burial benefits, but that's available too. So there's a lot that we can take comfort in on how veterans are being treated in this day and age. I see a profound increase in what the VA does for veterans, but they're not knocking on my door. They're not going to come and say, Ronnie, we got some money for you, and hey, there's treatment. You have to go and look for it. You have to talk to your doctors, and that's how it works.
Yeah, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to really be clear what your needs are, and if they tell you no, you have to try again, and not give up too. Oh my goodness! And thank you to everybody who's joined us. Susan is saying this conversation is so important. She's over in the
Thank
UK
you,
as
Susan.
well too. Yeah. Miss Evelyn is saying, I think it made you more resilient because you didn't have the same camaraderie. You had to rely on your own strength.
That's true. Thank you, Evelyn.
Yeah. And hello to Charlene as well too. Also, Rose Sullivan, she's over in the UK. She was saying her grandfather was in the army during World War II. She's proud of everyone who has served anywhere and from anywhere. Her deepest condolences to all the families who lost a loved one on Memorial Day. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Rose.
You guys are getting me choked up here. Oh my goodness, here too. What do you want the world to remember when we're talking about in all of these different wars, about the people that we've lost? Like, what would you want us to remember about them?
We want to remember that we never saw them again except in a box, if they came home at all. World War II, massive cemeteries throughout the world where the war was fought. That's where my uncle's at. There was a time I said, let's bring him home. And then one of my cousins went to visit his cemetery, and he goes, there's 100,000 soldiers there where he died in the Philippines. And I said, well, I guess he's safe. He's home. He's with his comrades. You know, I just had this picture of him being buried in a ditch somewhere with no recognition. But, you know, these are hallowed grounds that you can go to and see your loved ones. And the ones that were brought home to be interned here in their own country. It's just remembering so we can plan for the future and make sure we make decisions that are based on valid reasons to protect our country to serve those that are in need and take care of the people that need to be taken care of. The veterans, those that have died, make sure that they are honored daily. My uncle's picture is on my desk. I see him every morning. I think about him during morning meditations. Remembering, Jennifer, is probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing, but in our wild lives we lead, it's sometimes we don't think about it too much unless you have a little altar on your desk to pay homage to someone whose name you shared and you never met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you, Ronnie. And I know you're spiritual, like myself and like all of our friends here today. And
yes,
how has it changed your view, your perspective on, life and afterlife and mortality and what does last forever and what doesn't from this experience that you've been in?
When I went to Vietnam, I never thought about not coming home. And yet I processed a lot of soldiers who didn't come home. That was part of my job, making sure that all their stuff was put together and that whatever went home with them was a part of their life, so that when their family members opened up the contents of their belongings, they saw treasures that they would keep forever, because this is their loved one who they didn't think they'd never see again, but they didn't. Vietnam was that. Every war is that way. We've lost people in Iran, and we've lost people everywhere trying to do what we're doing, whether you believe in it or not. We're out there doing it, and we have to support our troops any way we can. Whether you believe in the war or not is irrelevant. We're there.
Exactly.
We're doing
exactly. It. Yeah. Don't take out our frustrations on the wars or the governments on the actual soldiers, right? Thank you. Thank you for saying that. It's important we make that distinction. Craig is saying, to get a message from one of my brothers through a medium is just amazing and is nothing less than pure proof of undying love. Yeah.
Thank you, Craig. That's very profound.
Yeah, it is. And it's beautiful as a medium, too, to be able to make those connections for their loved ones who are still here as well, too. So it's another way that we bring the two worlds together, too. And I find that when I connect with somebody who's in spirit world, they reconnect with their fellow soldiers who have also passed away. And I know I've read for you before too, in the past too. And it's like, they remember you, and they guide you and they're there for you as well too. So it's quite beautiful. Christine is saying both her grandmother nursed her dad, served in the Navy World War II, received medals for bravery, but the horrors he saw had an adverse effect. Yep. Thank you, Christine, so much for sharing as well, too. And Craig is also sharing they were all sons, daughters, fathers, and mothers. They were all America's family.
Thank you. Thank you both. Christine, you're so right about what you said, and the things that we need to do to remember. Like I said, the key word to all this today is remembering. Remembering. One of my dearest friends in high school, we got drafted on the same day and went to basic training together. I went to Fort Sam Houston, Texas for medical training school. He went across the compound and trained to be a fighter, a combat in Vietnam. He came home, but then he suffered a lot of anxieties. He suffered a lot of depression. He suffered a lot of addictions, and he broke out of that. He broke out of that funk he was in, and he was making his life a better way. And unfortunately, he got killed in a car accident. And he was reuniting with his daughter and wife because she didn't want to have anything to do with him. He was crazy when he first came back. He was out of control. We all were.
Yeah.
We just didn't know what to do or say, and we weren't getting any help. Our families would love to support us, but they didn't know what to do. They tried to say, well, get back in the game. Get back in the game. You can do this. But what game are you going to get back into?
Not with that level of trauma and PTSD. Like you have seen horrors that we can't even imagine.
It's
can't even
so
imagine.
important to remember what happened to them. Like the comments I'm seeing here, it's just this is such an amazing group that we're talking to. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about all of you and being here today, taking the time out of your day to come here and listen to the things that are important, because there's plenty of time for the mattress sale, the deal on a car, and a barbecue. You'll get it all in. We're not going to be here all day.
Yes, indeed. Jess is sharing that her son was placing flags on graves with lots of other Boy Scout troops this weekend. Oh, thank you, Jess, and thanks to your son. And
that's who does it. That's who does it.
Oh,
the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the young people are the ones out there putting those flags on the graves of, at the Goleta Cemetery. We were on Veterans Hill, and you could just see the flags all in all the veterans headstones and waving in the wind. It was a nice gentle breeze on a beautiful day. And it was an honor to be a part of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it warms my heart that everybody comes together to do this together, because if we don't stick together, we're going to fall apart, Ronnie.
You're absolutely right, Jennifer.
We got to stick together, people. Right. I know it sounds a little funny, but it's like, it's about as true as it gets. We got to stick together.
You're right,
Jennifer.
We're
human. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you. Mr. Craig is sharing. We love you, Craig. Craig runs a lovely healing group called Mary's Spirit Walkers, and they're doing so much beautiful work to heal people with chronic illness, especially cancer as well, too. So much love out to you, my dear friend, and also a fellow spiritualist and medium as Ronnie and myself are. And he says the spiritualist movement in America began just prior to the Civil War, when all of America was going to be needing healing. Spirit poured into the world through mediums. That's very true. And in the mid 1800s, there was more focus on physical mediumship, seances, mesmerism, things like that, a little bit of history going back. And then all of a sudden it started to switch to mental mediumship, which is connecting with loved ones in spirit world. And that is because the war, the need for healing. And so mediums were working hours upon hours connecting with thousands of people who were like, where's my dad? Where's my son? Are they alive? Can you imagine what this was like in the early 1900s to do that? They worked tirelessly to try to help and be of service. And here we are again, and we wondered why we were getting so many more mediums here in the 2000s. And here we are, too. Lynn is sharing her husband, James' father, served proudly in World War I as a, did you mean balloonist? Is that, I don't know what that is. Balloonist during surveillance over Fran, achieved the rank of colonel. Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing, Lynn. Thank you.
Lynn.
God bless. God bless.
So it sounds like he was either in a dirigible or a hot air balloon.
Okay. To do the surveillance. Okay. See, I learned something new here. And then Jennifer is saying, so true. So true. So it's nice to kind of like bring these different pieces together with spirituality and mediumship, and trying to give some healing to so much trauma that happened as well too. May I ask, Ronnie, for anyone who hasn't served, like myself and many other people, is there any misconceptions, or the biggest misconception that we may have about people who have served? people who have sacrificed in wars?
That's another great question, Jennifer. And I think once again, it goes back to talking to a veteran, talking to somebody that served during the war, asking them what their perspective is on what's going on in the world and how they feel about it. And you'll get a cross section of answers. You'll get a lot of answers, but it's so important to ask the questions. How was your experience? What did you do? Just like you've done with me so many times. That's part of the healing, that knows that somebody is remembering you, remembering that you served. You see somebody with a hat on, just say thank you for your service. And let them know how important it is for you to recognize what they're wearing. They're wearing a badge. They're wearing a symbol of their service, and it's nice to see it recognized. And that's probably the biggest thing you can do if you've never served, is talk to a veteran. Talk to Craig. Talk to me. Craig got me on the cycling journey. That's where, and then of course I work with you on a weekly basis. Anybody wants to sit for us, we have a good time. So that's the most important thing. Communicating with a veteran, asking him what his experience was like. It may seem uncomfortable in the beginning for both of you, for him, her, and for you. But once the dialogue and the conversation starts, next you're on your second cup of coffee or cocktail, whatever the case may be.
There's something very cathartic and healing about being able to share your story. This is part of what it means to be human. And in the sharing of the story, we remember, we heal, we process, we allow release. And we allow understanding and togetherness. So you're right, it's important. And then we all need to feel seen and heard and know that we matter.
Right.
It always comes back to that. Everything goes full circle. It all comes back to
true.
that. It is so true. And if anyone else would like to share about one of their loved ones who has served, please do so, and we would like to honor them as well. And Lynn she's saying yes, it was a hot air balloon. Okay, thank you, Lynn. Thank you. I didn't know that, so I learned something, and I was like, was that a typo? Was that meant to be a different word? And she's like, yeah, it was a balloonist. So wow.
I wonder how many of those got shot out of the sky.
Oh gosh, I don't want to know.
They don't move very fast, I don't think.
I'm glad that James's father survived and got to be honored as colonel too. And oh my goodness! And if anyone has a questions about veteran services, please do ask as well too. Ronnie knows all about that. Hello to everybody who's joined us as well too. Presh, I see you've joined us as well. Thank you for being here. And Maxine, thank you for being here. Evelyn is saying, I love sitting for you, Ronnie. And so is Kim. She's saying, I'll sit for you again too. So we would love to have you. You're welcome anytime. And Craig is saying, no one carries a brighter torch than Ronnie. Thank you, my buddy. Oh,
thank you, Craig. You helped light the fire, brother.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm such a lucky girl. I know you gentlemen, I'm just so honored to have such just solid, good men that are friends of mine and connected to me. I couldn't be more blessed. Kim is saying her uncle lost his hearing in the Korean War too. As another thing, the noise, the blast, the explosions.
Right.
Yeah. And
I ended up with a tumor in my auditory canal. It was benign, but I lost the hearing in my right ear. But once again, the VA stepped up and gave me these super duper hearing aids that work wonders.
Yeah, you've gotten hearing aids, you've gotten help with your eyes and help with your skin and help with your teeth because you were exposed to the Agent Orange. Just going back from previous episodes, and I'm going to try to get those posted over on my YouTube channel because I still have those too to see if we can get those on, or at least some clips from those too, so you can go back and back down memory lane, because we shared a lot of important things on these other episodes as well too, that people can go back and revisit too. Yeah, but you have become like one of the experts in receiving the services and working through the system, even if there are some red tape to get through and things like that. And you've helped many other veterans as well to help them get off of the streets and get the help they need and have a life, keep living. There is a difference from existing and truly living.
Correct.
And
Correct.
you're saying let's truly live. Let's truly live. Yeah.
And we got to love each other, whether we're veterans or not. But this is a significant day for all those families who suffered so much when their loved ones did not come home, and suffered so much when they did come home, but were dealing with the traumatities of war.
Yeah.
We're honoring them as well.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. Miss Christine is sharing her dad didn't want to talk about his wartime experience, but he wrote 5 diaries and she has them.
Wow. That's the thing. In the beginning, I didn't want to talk because no one wanted to listen. They just were giving lip service, I think, when after I came home. But, you could tell people were not interested in your story. They just didn't care. But then it changed. People became interested. People wanted to understand what happened, why it happened. And people start asking questions. I've spoken at high schools when they talk about Vietnam. I've had the opportunity to go talk to these young kids, and they're kids. They're 16, 17 years old, and all they want to hear about is what blew up or the hot blonde girlfriend. That's all. That's what. But at least they want to make a dialogue. They want to care about it. I said, this could happen to you. This could happen to you. I mean, I'm proud of those that joined and went and fought because they believed in what was going on. I had too good a life. I didn't want to go anywhere.
Yeah. And
my mom was cooking for me. Who's going to cook for me?
Yeah. It's important. It affects all of us. It affects all of us too. I mean, I've got 2 sons, at that age to where this could happen, and it's just unimaginable. And I can understand how it would be really difficult to hear about the traumatic things that you experienced, and it's hard on people. They just they can't, they can't take that in, and it's like, what I would offer is try your best to listen anyways, because it's harder to be the one who experienced versus listening to the story. And we have all seen what happens when we look away. We have all seen what happens when we don't want to see what's happening. And then now it's just like in our face, and everybody's having to now see things that are happening that they just didn't want to believe could be that bad. And so we're learning some very important and valuable lessons right now at this time.
That's very true, Jennifer. What you say is spot on. And we must remember, and then communicate with the people that have gone through almost the ultimate experience. They didn't die during war, but they suffered after war, and they need help. We can remember those that passed, but let's help those that are still alive and around. Let's make sure they get to the, are you getting your veterans benefits? And if you're married, your husband's going to lie to you. So he's not going to tell you what's going on. So you have to go see what's going on. Go with him to the doctor's appointments and find out what's happening. Find out what's available to you. You can get spousal support from being the wife or a caregiver of a disabled veteran.
Yep. There's caretaker benefits
Oh
for the
yeah.
kids,
Yeah,
school
that makes a
benefits.
huge difference in your life. All that stuff is on the table.
And it goes beyond medical. Like you get massages as well too, because those are they're helpful for stress management. They're helpful for the pain, the long-term pain that's caused from injuries too. And it's like, so people don't even know what's available to them. And it's like, oh, look, go investigate, talk to Ronnie, and
I'm
just
always here.
try. Yeah. He's always
And
here.
some
Yeah.
of the things we learn, like the in-house, in-home massages. Who doesn't want a massage? My God. And so I'm talking to my psychologist. It's another advantage of the VA. I have a psychologist I meet with every week. Her name is Tajan Robinson, and she's an Army veteran. She jumped out of helicopters and airplanes, and she's a badass. And she says, they got these in-house massages. And I said, what? So I went to my primary doctor, and she goes, well, you don't know if they're going to have anybody available. And I said, let's put in for it and see what happens. And next thing, I got this wonderful masseuse who's giving me medical in-home massages. And the VA is picking up the tab, as they
As it
should.
should. As it should, exactly. I would like to meet her. I've heard so much about your psychologist. I'd like to meet her one day. She does. I'm up for meeting a lady badass.
You're a badass. She's a badass too. There's a lot of women on this
Yeah,
program
we
today that
are
are badasses.
absolute. We're spiritual badasses. There is also something called a spiritual death as well too, and that kind of forces it on you too. If you didn't die physically, like we there's a spiritual death, and it's sometimes many times. Okay, I want to acknowledge a few of our other friends here. Rose is sharing. She said she wished she could talk to her grandfather, but he won't talk about it. But he did lose the tips of his fingers on his left hand. God bless him, too. And and Evelyn was saying as well too. Her uncle from Holland served and did not make it. His mission is to help women in the family. I think she means from Spirit Well too. God bless your uncle as well too. Thank you, Evelyn. And Susan Kramer from UK is also saying her great uncle James served in the First World War. She didn't have the privilege of meeting him, but he's one of her guides. And she found his signing up papers over on Ancestry. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you for sharing, Susan.
I got some information on my uncle through Ancestry. A little of the information because, other than a couple of cousins, nobody was alive when he passed, but they can tell what happened to the family after his pass. The story about my grandmother and getting the gold star. Many of us are gold star families. Many of us on this podcast are gold star families because they lost a loved one. It's not regulated to just a mother and a father, brothers and sisters. It could go as deep as you want it to be, depending on how close you were. You can look up their names. There's a couple of sites that you can look up the name and get more information. And if he's not talking to you, then talk to him. What happened when you were in that war? Maybe he doesn't want to talk about it, but that's his prerogative. But it doesn't hurt to pry a little more. And pretty soon the floodgates may come opening up and you'll find out much more about the things you didn't want to talk about. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to be, it was there. People didn't care, but people do care.
Yeah. Maybe just tell him that she cares. I'm asking because I care.
That's
And at least he can hear that. At least he can hear that. I imagine sometimes maybe you love your family so much that you don't want to say the bad things because you don't want to upset them too. I imagine that could be part of the reason why they don't want to talk, or they just want to compartmentalize it over there so that they can function. It would make sense.
You're right, Jennifer. It does make sense. And the thing that you still have to care in whatever way you can, whether it's getting him a cup of coffee or doing whatever it is that's going to just make his day a little brighter, and that's all it takes sometimes is just somebody that cares. Whether he opens up or not, really isn't important as long as you show them how much you care. And it sounds like you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. I want to say hi to our friend Colin, who's joined us too. He'll be live with Brian Lahr. Yep, Ronnie knows Colin. And he will be going live as Brian Lahr's guest later at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 12:30 a.m. in the UK too. So we love our Colin. He just takes such good care of all of us too. And Maxine is saying, I think a lot don't speak of war. My mother-in-law would not speak of the Nazi invasion in Holland. Father-in-law served in the Indonesia war, but he would speak about it too. So yeah.
That's good.
Oh my goodness. And Colin is saying the never-ending wars have to stop.
Absolutely.
I was channeling in my private circle the week before last, and that's what the spirit, well, it was our star being friends on that realm of spirit world were saying the wars have to stop too. So yeah, so I think we've got agreement. We've got agreement. My mind just can't even fathom that this still happens, yet it does. It's because we've come so far in our understanding of life and humanity and what works and what doesn't. Yet here we are too. So let's hope that we can continue to do better. Let's just all do better. And we are spiritual beings, and so I think if we have a voice that says we can do better, and we keep saying this, hey, we can do better, we can improve, we can ascend, we can evolve, then we're in that energy of that, right?
That's absolutely true, Jennifer. I believe those words to be very profound. And, it's I don't want to get into geo-war, geopolitics, or any of this stuff, but it just creates so much tension, anxiety, and just makes people sad. I see people sad a lot, and it makes me sad.
Yeah, very true, very true. Thank you. You see, Maxine is saying we have some of Dad-in-law's medals too. So thank you, Maxine. God bless you too. And Jennifer's giving some love to Colin. And Kim is saying no one wins in war.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And Colin is saying respect for you.
Thank you, Colin.
And Maxine is saying, yep, unbelievable today too. Do you remember that movie called War Games back in the 80s with, I think it was Matthew Broderick, I believe was the actor. It was an 80s movie. And there was a computer that kind of went rogue, and they were playing war games on the computer, but then the computer started connecting with the government military thing and almost was about to start a real war. And so the ending was that they had to go and find the creator of the program, who was in hiding, and basically train the computer to learn that no matter what strategy you ever used, there was no winner. And finally, the computer just gave up at just before the climax of the movie, right? And he gave up, and he says the only way to win is not to play.
I like that. I like that answer. I've never
didn't y'all
been
have chills?
able to watch any of those movies.
Yeah. So it's like we had these lessons long ago, and we can be slow learners sometimes. My goodness, too. Evelyn is saying difficult for some men to open up because in our culture they're supposed to be brave. Yeah. Yes, what they experienced was beyond imaginable and traumatic too. So I feel blessed that we've had this opportunity to discuss this here today, and I will find a way to get some more information from our last shows that we've done together from Veterans and Memorial Day posted as well too, because it's very important that veterans know what's available to them, that their families know what's available to them, because they're still here. And so as we honor all of those that are in spirit world, and boy, is there a lot of them around, because my house is really full of veterans in spirit world right now. Oh my goodness. But they're here, and I do feel like quite the acknowledgement that they want everybody here to get the help that they're deserving of and that is available to them as well. It's important too. So I'm happy we are able to shed some light. To let me see. Colin is sharing both grandfathers passed in World War II, one in North Africa and the other in North Atlantic convoys as well. And Maxine is saying, can we surround the earth with love and light, spread this energy? Absolutely. Let's spread that energy. That's some positive.
That's why we're here today.
Yep. And Fran is saying, some things are so horrible, they are unspeakable. Exactly. Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
But they need to be remembered so we don't make the mistakes again.
Exactly. They need to be remembered. You have found your own special way to navigate this day. You've you've already had a busy morning, and you've been doing your self-care, and you've been honoring those even before we came on this live too. How will the rest of your day go today?
I think I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. I'm going to go to an all-day happy hour.
An all-day happy hour.
And then I'm going to meet two dear friends that are my executive assistants, and we're going to go have a lunch about 4:00.
That sounds lovely. Well, have a cocktail with the thinking of me joining you. I'll be there in spirit at the table, giving you a cheers to being alive, to being well, to being my friend, to sharing all of this knowledge and wisdom with everybody here, to sharing your heart. You're such an important part of our community, and we love you dearly, Ronnie, too. So I'm just I feel so grateful that we got to share this time. I would like to ask any final words that you want to leave us with, or a prayer that you might want to say for all of us here today as we kind of start to wrap it up here.
I'd just like to comment a little bit about my opening prayer and just build upon that. The time we took today out of our day to join Jennifer and I, you all need to be praised and recognized for your ability to understand the meaning of being involved in wars and losing someone you love. Everybody here is a gold star and deserves a gold star. You took the time out of your day. God loves you. Spirit loves you. We're all powerful people. My uncle's here. My friend Bobby Sadhu is here. They're all just resonating around me, and guys I served with whose names I don't remember. But with that, I just want to thank each and everybody that took the time out of their day to come and be with Jennifer and I. And we love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ronnie. Yes, we do. So very grateful to all of our beautiful friends here who have joined us and shared in the love and shared in remembering all those who have served and sacrificed and lost lives over in spirit world, and also giving a tribute and honor and respect for their families, men, women, pets. And make sure you go out and get those services, everybody, from your veterans department. So use it. Call Ronnie if you need help. That's what he does. That's his jam. So please do reach out as well too. So Ronnie, thank you for your time here today. I'm so grateful and blessed that I got to share this space with you once again, and we'll be back on Veterans Day as well too. And I just feel so blessed. I just need to take a moment and just say thank you, just to you, to everybody, to Spirit World, to our families, for coming in connection. Because it's like I say, if we don't stick together, we're going to fall apart. So we all got to stick together, and how blessed we are to share in this love, share in the light. And together we are all amplifying the space, amplifying the grid, amplifying the light, so that we can evolve and ascend and and never have to have any more wars again.
Amen.
Yeah, let's do that. Amen. Amen. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your afternoons. Remember to stop in for Brian Lahr's show, Be in the Light, with guest Colin Walker, who's here with us right now. It's going to be a fabulous show as well, too. Nancy and Ashley will be doing a live reading show tomorrow at 6:30, and be back on Embracing Infinity on Friday as well, too. So lots of great things to share ahead, and please do enjoy the rest of your holiday. Much love to everybody. Thank you so, so, so much. Bye, everybody.